applauding. Who cares? Sounded good. Howdy, Lily. How are you today?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. The market's always doing the same old here lately on the OTC, just not getting any oomph, not eating our Wheaties in the morning. But still, even on them slow days, there are lots of single stocks popping out there like popcorn. So there's always something to do. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here. I forgot it was all of us and not just me and Lily. You guys are so quiet out there. This is Thursday, 4 o'clock. We are here every week at this time to talk about OTC and penny stocks. Yeah, me and Lily may talk to each other, maybe, if we're in a good mood. But we're really here for you. So when you do show up, I know it's 4 o'clock. Some of you are driving home or hitting ahead or letting the dog out. But whatever, as soon as you are here, drop your stock up there in the comments. What stocks you're looking at, stocks you're interested in. Let us know if you're interested in looking at the chart or the news or the financials so we don't waste your time. We've only got an hour here and we want to give you what you really want to hear. And the more you say to us, the less we can say to you. Something like that.
The more we can deliver, that's for sure.
All right,
I do want to explain something first, John, about our mystery guest.
Yo, yeah.
So sorry, you guys. I had a previous appointment, but it got canceled. So you get Lily again.
Yeah, I didn't know who I was going to have. We had 3 or 4 people who all have schedules. I'm pulling up the news right now, folks.
That's fine.
They all have schedules, and we weren't quite sure who was going to show up today. So it was going to actually be, you can see what I do here. I've actually got to change the code to get everything to fit. I'm going to make this full page for us. There we go. And we will now open it up. Save. Yeah, you get to see how I work. Oh, wrong one. So this is news I'm going to show you. This is news I've looked at over the last 2 or 3 days. Bang. Right there. We got you. There we go.
Yep.
I didn't go ahead and enlarge the little. Oh, I tell you what I did do there, though. I got it going way too fast for us. Let me slow that puppy down. We'll put that on a 4 instead of an 8 and refresh it. There it goes, a wee bit slower. All right. So I've got 2 screens up here so I can see what you guys see and I can see people talking to us, which they aren't doing yet. So Lily, have you had any stocks that have caught your eye this week or stocks you're looking at sometime coming up?
Well, yeah, this week I've been following a few of them. CFVI, their merger with Rumble. I've been following that.
I think I saw that one today. What was that today?
Yeah, I think it happens tomorrow, but I think we got a sell the news scenario today, and we'll go over that in a little bit. The other one I was looking at was ATXI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's had some strong runs for the last couple of days.
Yeah, that one's been doing really well.
Took a dip today, though, didn't she?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, well, after so many days, you got to accept some down action. If a stock always went up, well, everybody be trading, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah. I want to say that you pointed that one out in the Discord, John, and our other shot caller, Jackal. I think he had some alerts on it. So there was some good gains made on AT.
Oh, yeah. Jackal's been all over that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fantastic. It's been a minute since we've talked. The WLDS IPO happened. And the thing is, when you bought into the IPO, you got warrants with it. That's another one that Jackal put out for everybody to get into before the IPO. Now, did it blast off like all the rest of them? No. It wasn't more than the IPO price? Yes. But the warrants, they actually went up to about 5,000%. So that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something I never ever say. I guess I just presume people know it. I talk about warrants and how they're basically promissory notes or coupons that allow you to buy shares of the stock at a guaranteed low price sometime in the future. That's the benefit I always talk about. But the fact of the matter is it's tradable. It is just like the shares of stock. So you've got stock you can trade and you've got warrants you can trade. And there are many times that the stock will move this much and that warrant will move that much.
That's right.
And you can really cash in on some profits off of those warrants.
Yeah, they're actually my favorite thing to trade.
Yeah, I was looking at one. Oh, I think I overlooked it. One of the stocks we looked at yesterday, ASARL, I believe that's what it was. The stock rose yesterday about 62%, but its warrant went up 250%. And the warrant
Yeah,
was a lot cheaper. You could buy more of those than you could the shares of stock.
that's
So,
right.
and that's something you got to constantly remind yourself of when you're an OTC stock trader and you're looking at a NASDAQ stock. You got to remember there's possibly a warrant that could be traded. So if the stock is hot today, chances are the warrant will be hotter and cheaper. I mean, it's a win-win-win situation playing those warrants.
Yep, it's one of my favorite things to do. Made big oodles of money on warrants, in the last 2 years. They're not as hot as they used to be, but it's still nice to know that the advantage you have if you're invested into the warrant. And it also is important to understand how they work and what kind of warrant you're buying, stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, that's a whole separate video right there.
Yes, it is.
Did you see that amazing run that GOCOF did the other day?
I
That is
did.
the mining company.
Wasn't it like 220,000% or something? Something crazy.
358,000%.
Yes.
That was
yes.
without a split. That was without coming off the expert market.
That's what I was wondering. I was thinking maybe it just come off the expert market. I didn't know what happened. Tell me about it.
Well, I covered it 2 days ago. The news came out that they have these mines up in Quebec for copper and nickel, and they were drilling on them. Very first testing, virgin testings, and all 5 came up gangbusters. They hit the mother lode, and they were at 0001 when the news came out, and it went to 35 cents.
Wow, boom. That's amazing.
Yeah, in one day. Yeah,
and I could not find any chatter on it. I couldn't find much of anything. I think it took everybody by surprise. What happened? I don't think there was a lot of people in there. I don't know how much the volume was on that day or how many trades were done that day. Hopefully somebody got it.
There was that's what caught my attention to it. I mean, she had a lot of trades, and I was monitoring my trade page over here at the OTC markets. This one right over here. And I saw it, and it was up at the top of the list. It had like 86 trades by the time I saw it. If you come over here to current market, folks, scroll down here to the advancers. We like to look at the gainers. I look at all of them. You can sort them out if you just want to see particular price ranges. But right here is what I was monitoring, trades. And I'm looking for a lot of trades because I figure that's a lot of people. And the more people around the stock, obviously, there's a reason. The more people, the stronger the reason has got to be. The more people, the more price action, the more opportunities I'm going to have to make money. So I looked for those, and that popped up on it, and I was watching it. And by the time I saw it, it was already up 250,000%. So it's like, well, how much higher can it go?
Yeah.
Right? But it just kept going, but that's because it got up into the pennies. I do believe it took a dip today. I haven't looked. Yesterday, it went up another 42%, which is nothing compared to 350.
It looks like it topped out at 68 cents, and now it's like at 41.
68 cents. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. What a run. And there was news the other day that came out on a stock. Which one was that? Do I have that up here? Yeah, it was this one. NUMD. NUMD had news, but it wasn't in a news press. They just had a filing come out late at night. Everybody woke up to it the next morning. They had fired their president and chief executive officer and replaced him. And the man they replaced him with has a reputation. I haven't dove deep into this, but obviously from what I've discovered, he's been behind another meme stock that did quite well. And that excited people, I guess, because this came out in the morning. Stock jumped. There's nothing else to be seen. This is all there is. And that's what I've been really focusing on here recently are what's making the stock run. Yeah, okay, they had great financials. They had good news. But what is it particularly in that news? Because I look at news all the time, and some of the news goes right over my head. I did read it, and then I see in the middle of the day it's up 500%. It's like, what? On what? So I go back and I look at that catalyst and I study it. Why is this thing running today? And if you can figure out what kind of news makes stocks run, then you can put your efforts better use. Most of these stocks run in the first half of the day, fall the second half. So it doesn't do us much good to keep looking at stocks after they've run just because we found the catalyst. We need to find those catalysts on your own. I mean, me and you can talk about them all day long after the play, but you got to get in there in the morning before the bell rings, go through your news, scan, there's a lot of mining news right now. And folks, honestly, if you want to go through news simply for OTC market, just use this site. Don't be going to Google doing searches right here. This is every single company on the OTC. Their news comes out. It comes here. There's no NASDAQ, no New York Stock Exchange. These are all OTC. They're not all penny stocks, but they actually have, and I've never shown you this either, you can search according to which tier. If you only want news for the pink tier or the middle tier where they audit, or the expensive tier. These literally, there are stocks up here at $10, $20, and $30,000 on the OTC market. You thought they were all penny stocks, didn't you? No. So this is where I come every single morning, and I just scan this stuff and I look for the key stuff, mergers, big deal, something like that. And then I go look over at my charts, right? I come over here, I throw up my scan, I get my prices in there that I'm wanting to play, and I see if it's popping up. Or I'm just over here looking at the volume, seeing who's got the biggest volume of the day and seeing why it's running. I mean, you got to come from one direction or the other, but you've got to determine it quick, because as soon as that bell rings, it's going to go. It's going to go, right? That's the key advantage to working with your NASDAQ stocks and your penny stocks on the major exchanges. You can trade those before market. And we have a lot of people in Penny Boys that love to play the pre-markets and make some damn good money there, because there are some quick, hard moves. That's the wild, wild west. I mean, your SMAs aren't coming into play pre-market, after market. These things are bouncing and moving like rockets, going up and falling down. So you can really get into a quick game, make your profits. Day starts, maybe you could take the rest of the day off. You may not need to play. You may have made your money pre-market and actually have some time off.
That's right.
All right, let's see. I do have some stocks here that we can take a look at. This isn't a penny stock, but it is worthy of considering. It has been moving hard today, high and low. Yeah, right?
We played that one so many times.
HKD, believe it or not, when it came on the market, only had a few million shares, no warrants for dilution. It's a Chinese company, and it was at $7.80 was its original price. It hit over $2,500. Yep. It came way down. I'm not quite sure where it was the other day, but it was up to $360 today, and I see it's down to $120. This thing is really jumping around. Now, again, I say this isn't a penny stock, but it virtually was. $7.80. I mean, if you just got one share.
So the low bubble on HKD was like 45.02 after that massive run. It finally, cooled off, came back to 45.02. And Amy, Amajam in the Discord for Penny Boys, she alerted it on her watch list. And I want to say that she told everybody if it goes over $50, take the trade. And of course, we have targets on stuff like that. But here's the thing. When you see volume coming into a stock like that, you're not selling at 51.02 or whatever. You've got some room to play. So, and that's what they did. It went all the way up to 200 and something that day. I think it was yesterday it did that. And then we hit 3 today. So we had a lot of people taking profits from that one. It was so much fun to play.
Yeah. I always say stuff like, well, if I'm in a morning run, 10:05, I'm out. That's my rule, because the market has a hiccup, a pause right there. And rather than wait to see what it decides, I just shortchange myself the frustration and just take my gains.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But as you said, if you're looking at your charts and you see volume is strong, you can see the volume is up. Boom, boom, boom. The bars are. Look, if there's no red lights, I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to put my foot on the brake. Yes, I normally do stop and get out. But if everything looks good, by golly, I know that was my stop, but I can't pass up 6 green lights.
Well, you can always raise your stops on moves like that,
Absolutely.
But we did get a lot of halts. HKD is a low float, so a lot of halts come with that. but it was due for this second run. And she knew that. She was all over
And you
it.
can see here, we're on the 30-minute here. You can see how that 200-day was coming down. And you normally aren't going to get the price to flux up hard until the 200's close. Not on these smaller. Well, this wasn't a small stock, but that's what happened. It got so bloody high back here that when it fell, it left the 200 in the dust. I mean, that is $2,500. And then it fell all the way down here to 177. It's going to take a long time, which isn't even here yet. We don't even have it yet on this chart. But it's going to take a while for that to come down. Like here, you can see how high it is.
Yeah.
And then it got lucky here on the hour. But you can see on the 30-minute, she was definitely getting ready. And boy, she jumped hard there. And once she got above it, she was taking off. And now she's come right back down to that 200. Again, it's not a penny stock. It's probably not one we're going to play. But it's something we're learning. These Chinese
still fun
stocks,
to talk about.
yeah, and we're learning lessons. How many Chinese stocks have come on under $10 with just a few million shares that have shown us impressive gains in a short time period?
We actually have one to watch for. I think it's tomorrow. Is what I'm getting.
I was waiting for you to bring this up. It's got an L in it. I-L
yes,
something.
It's LICN. So
LICN.
Nope. Lima, India, Charlie, November.
LITN.
LICN.
Oh,
Charlie.
C as in Charlie.
Yeah.
Is that another Chinese company?
Yes, it's a China IPO. Going to be a low float, it looks like, as well. And I'm anticipating it for tomorrow. Don't know if it gets pushed back or not. It does have a connection. I can't remember the connection. I don't know if it's ATXD, which is the same one that did HKD. I'm not sure about that, but there is some connection there. So there's a lot of people watching this one.
And that's what's really important. The connection, the Chinese. The fact of the matter is, if you have a lot of people watching it, it could possibly pop. That's just all there is to it. And since we've had so many of these before, now people are kind of in tune. They're harmonizing. And I think the investors are going to synergize with the IPO. And we'll probably get another crazy run. And getting in is the toughest part. They may say it's $7 or $8 or $10, but good luck getting that price. I don't know if there's not any way to buy it before the bell goes off, then the price is being bid up before the price. Can you see that on a level 2? Is there any way to see that?
All I know is you can see it on Webull whenever they're offered. You can go find them there and try to do a pre-order. Doesn't mean you'll get it, but you can try. Most of the time, with IPOs, it's a good indicator, like if you don't get your fill. So if you, let's say you order 100 shares at $4, because it's set to go between 4 and 5. So if you order 100, I don't know about this one. I'm just giving an example. Sorry. But if you set your order for 100 and you only get filled 8 or 15, you know, that's kind of an indicator that there might be more room in that tank. You know, that there's a lot of hype behind it.
Isn't it more the case? You put it in order because you've got to pick a number. You can't go market from what I saw on these IPOs.
You cannot.
So you've got to pick a number. And if you pick 4 or 5, I mean, like the last one, the stock was about $10 a share, $6 a share. The one I got into, and I put in 14. Well, it came in at 41. Blew me right away. I didn't pick a number high enough. And that's the trick. You've got to be willing to put a number in there high enough. What I would have preferred is to say, I'm willing to spend $200. Just give me as many as I can afford at $200 when the bell goes off. If they're $100 a piece, I'll take 2. If they're $5 a piece, I'll take 40. Whatever. I just want some. I couldn't even get one last time. Because one of HKD would have been enough.
Exactly. But either way, even if you don't, a lot of the times the people that are in pre-IPO will take profits. You know, so you're going to have a dip usually after that initial pop, and you just have to be able to read the chart and follow it. So, but always treat it like a lotto. And as soon as retail's on board, which they're starting to be on board, watching for this, that's usually when the trend changes. So just be aware of that. Be careful and treat it like a lotto.
Learning oneself, PHBI. Do you have any opinion on them? You know, I just might have an opinion on them if I actually see what sort of information they got here. There we go. All right. Well, since we have a question, let's see what we can learn here. I am
Let's do
on
it.
beat here. PHBI. You know, I am familiar with this one. PHBI. God, I think this is in the cannabis sector. I may be wrong, but I'm hearing bells in the back of my head here. Farm Green Biotech. I'm looking for any words there about, there you go. Acquire licensed California cannabis company. Okay, so I do remember him from my cannabis days. Boy, I knew every stock a year and a half ago. So we are at a darn good buy price. I'll tell you that much. Just over a penny. Hit 2 cents. That's like 100% your gains right there. Boom.
Yep.
Is there any new news here? We got news a week ago. Farm Green develops proprietary nutraceutical formulation, prepares for product launch. Not quite sure what this is. Retail sales distribution channels for its new product. The Farm Green team is very excited to be launching this nutraceutical product utilizing a combination of 15 ingredients from the medicinal plants and mushrooms. Hopefully they're all just, generic stuff, not your psilocybin mushrooms or anything like that. Financials, what sort of money are we making over here? Uh-oh, that don't look good. So we've got nothing on the annual. We've got no income coming in over here whatsoever. And it doesn't say shell company or shell risk over here. So that's a little curious. Disclosures, we got anything fresh over here? We had a financial, their quarterly come out about a month ago. It's about all I actually see here. So we don't have any fresh catalysts except they've got new products. And obviously, going back through the news, it looks like they've got a steady line of news here. About every 2 months. Every 2 months, they're putting out a piece of news. Provides updates on the business development beyond just cannabis, acquisition of Long Valley. It looks like they're actually doing quite a lot. Why they're not making some money is a little interesting to me. Now, I would suggest that you jump into their 10 quarterly. Obviously, we don't have the time to do that, but your quarterlies and your 10Ks have a lot more information than disclosures. They are required legally to give a lot more information. And I'm not just talking about all these financials. These can really put some people off, but they talk about those financials in just clear words down here. And you can get the nature of their business here and just go through here and you can just scroll and you'll find how many shares they have, how many subsidiaries they have, how much they're making per subsidiaries. They'll even talk about how much the employees and the management are making. I mean, everything. There is lots and lots of information here. So if you're really interested in the company, this is the best place to get information. They'll even tell you what they're worried about. As a matter of fact, they talk too much about what they're worried about. Let's take a look at the chart and see what it shows us.
Do it.
PHBI. All right, let's go back 4 hours. This is a 6-month chart. She has been rolling downhill all this time with a high back there of 2.5 cents roughly. Hit an abnormal low here of 0.004. She came back up off that with a lot of volume. There probably was some news there on the 17th of May. Big, strong day today. Wow. Big, strong day. Absolutely. Yeah. She had a big bounce. She has put herself up over the 200 on the 4 hour, and all the technicals are outstanding. Let's just come on down to that 5-day, 5-minute. Yeah, she jumped right from the bell. She went from about just under a penny, 0.009192, somewhere in there, up to 1.2 cents. So you had about 25% gain. Looks like she gave away just about 50% of it. And it's just sitting there right now.
Is that on the 1 minute, John?
That's the 5-minute.
5-minute? I was just wondering because there's not much movement there, and it looks like a stock that's halted. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes of trade today. That's all we've got there. That is on the minute chart. So there was lots of dead time between the trades, and it was only 9 minutes worth of trading. And what was the I don't think we looked at the relative volume of the company today. How much did she do? That'll give you an idea if people are even watching it. No, she's doing about 250,000 shares. Yeah, 250,000 shares a day, and she did less than that today. So she's just going sideways right
it's
now.
kind of odd to see it. Like the chart, it looked odd.
So they've got a lot going on. I would definitely do some more. I mean, if you're invested in it, learning oneself. Sorry, I get people's names wrong all the time. Learning oneself, that's going to be the best. Obviously, they need a catalyst. That's just the way the OTC is. We need catalysts for most stocks unless they're making serious revenues or got deals constantly coming in and they're climbing the ladder all the time. So I would just wait around. I like this company. I remember this company back in the good old days, and I see they're still hard at it. They're still acquiring companies, and they must have plans for those companies. Let's see.
Yep.
I got in at 0075. So thinking to hold still. We will see. What was the price now? You got in at 0075 and it's 117. Yeah, brother, I would stick in it. Look, cannabis hasn't had its day yet. That's all there is to it. And especially if this is a U.S. company, it's not. Hey, at least they got that going for them. It's a Canadian company. We've got lots of different markets in the cannabis sector. The ones in the U.S. got to deal with the U.S. BS. So they're a whole different ballgame. Canada, they're the only ones 100% legal next to Uruguay. But Uruguay hasn't done squat since they went legal. They were the very first country, but they just started to get into the game now. And then you got Israel, which is 15 years ahead of everybody else science-wise. So there's a lot of different cannabis markets out there. It's a tough market to play. But when this thing pops, when all the world gets on the same page, oh my God, these cannabis companies are going to be big. You're going to have Curaleaf, Tilray, and a few surprise ones, maybe Harbor Country. I don't know. There's going to be a few of them like they're always in every sector. I don't know what Pharma Green's going to do, but pharmacy companies are completely different. If they come up with any sort of drugs, that's a whole different ballgame in itself too.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
All right. Well, let me show you a couple of the stocks.
Questions? No. Okay, go for it, John.
I'm looking there. Don't see any questions, and I don't mind. I'm a patient man. I also tell lies sometimes. This is a stock that was running today. It was up high in the charts on the scanners on Thinkorswim. This is Beat, Heartbeat Beam, and everything here. It's perfect with what their product is. They did $2.32 at the end of the day with 85% gains. She is on the NASDAQ. I do not know if they have warrants. I haven't checked. The warrant may have done better than the stock today. They came out today with a new product, the HeartBeam granted patent for 12-lead electrocardiogram patch monitor intended for detection of heart attacks and complex cardiac bad beats. I can't say that word. I'm not going to say it. But anyways, they've got this new patch that goes right on you. It looks like a credit card. And it just sticks on top of you, and it's monitoring the beat of your heart. And if anything goes wrong, it gives you a warning before your heart attack. These sort of devices, this sort of technology, anything that helps people avoid pain, cancer, heart attacks, they run. I see it all the time. People who are older have money. They like to invest in things that can give them longevity, that can help them avoid pain, that give them hope for more life. Honestly, take it from me. I know what I'm talking about. So this was a product today that definitely caught people's attention, had a lot of trades and a lot of gains. And I don't know what else it's going to do. That's for you to keep up with. Ticker BEAT.
It does have a warrant, by the way.
It does have a warrant?
Yes.
How'd that warrant do today?
So it looks like early in the morning it hit 60 cents.
Is it just a W at the end of it?
Yes.
So let me back this up. We're on the minute. You can hardly see anything on the minute. The minute's good for an exit.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, you don't want to watch the minute unless you're trying to get in or trying to get out. That's my point of view. Oh, yeah, she jumped here from 38 cents up to 60 cents.
Yeah.
That was pre-market, or is that aftermarket?
That's pre-market.
That's
I'm
pre-market?
pretty sure.
I can't
look
tell
at mine.
here.
I'll look at mine again. I'll tell you. Hold on.
And then she started.
Yeah, that
fall.
hit at 8:55 this morning.
And let's see. So she had a huge jump back here. You may want to see what the news was. As I said, see why it jumped here? You see that kind of news come out again, you can expect that sort of jump. You get ahead of the game. You can monitor your news. And this was a huge jump up to $1.50, which is triple where we're at right now. So you'd be looking at a 300% gain. She's just been going sideways for a long time. This is the first time in a long time she's actually had any real volume. She had a poke back here, got over the 200, which was exciting, but didn't hold it. All that volume is the difference. That volume is the big difference here. And your technicals are pretty strong. RSI is low. You know, you had a pullback. Anytime you have a pullback, your RSI is going to fall. So you just might want to keep your eye on this because they just came out with this news. It is a brand new product, and I don't know what they're going to do with it, how they're going to sell it, how they're going to market it. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd want to know that. You know, you got a little thing goes dee dee dee. I would freak the hell out. I'd sure have a heart attack. I can't. I don't need to know these things.
Well, you know, some people want to know, you know, because if you can avoid it, if your heart starts doing a bad rhythm, you can take an aspirin, thin your blood out real quick, maybe avoid that pain.
Well, if it's not like a bomb, so it's like, okay, you have an hour or 30 minutes, you need to get assistance. But if it's like beep, 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 you only got 12 seconds, that's it. I'm done. We got another question over here, I think, John.
All right, what's that say? Where can I get real-time?
Trying to show it. There you go. Real-time stock quotes. A lot of platforms are delayed by 15 minutes. That's strange. That should be something you can turn on.
Real-time stock quotes. Are you talking on your charts, Mike?
I mean, on your platform?
Live. There should be no delay on your charts whatsoever.
The only time I had delay is when I was paper trading, Mike.
Now, if you're talking about this sort of thing, this site here that we're looking at, the OTC markets, it does have a 15-minute delay. This, even if I refresh it, it won't refresh until the cycle's done. Not all the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So there is a 15-minute delay here. I don't know, like Yahoo or other places. I don't know if they have it, if this is what you're talking about. But if you've got a platform that has a 15-minute delay, I would be getting a different.
That's no good. That's no good. It happened to me when I was paper trading because you use the market to paper trade, but it's delayed. I have seen it in my platform before, something about delayed. I was on my phone and it was something I changed. I cannot remember, you know, where that was or what I did. Right. I do remember seeing a notification though. So if that's the case, you may want to call your broker or do some research to turn that off. You want real-time data when you're trading, okay? If you mean news stuff, then the OTC markets is delayed by 15 minutes. Mike was also asking John, any thoughts on RSHN and CZNI?
I did have RushNet pulled up. It was already up on my board. I put a bunch of stocks up there. Yeah, it was one that caught my eye because first off, it's a stock that has a lot of followers. And anytime a stock that has a lot of followers starts moving, you're going to start getting activity on it, at least a lot of buzz online.
Oh, yeah.
So I seen this one. It started to move today, RushNet. She had a piece of news come out. As a matter of fact, it's this one. It's a big piece of news. We covered this the other day. They go through a lot of catalysts. I mean, there's a bunch here. They talk. Is it on this one? No, it doesn't matter. I remember it. They want to spin out Helios DX, but they also want to put in the other company. Is it called? There it is, Grandiza Healthcare. They were going to spin out Helios DX all by itself onto the NASDAQ, but now they're going to put in Grandiza, which is the billing aspect. The company Helios DX is a testing portion of the company. They test for all sorts of products with droplet cards for your urine, your spit, your blood, all that sort of stuff. Then the other company, Grandiza Healthcare, is the billing, all the paperwork, all of that sort of stuff. They're now basically merging the two companies together, they're subsidiaries, and they're going to spin them both out onto the NASDAQ. And of course, anybody holding RushNet shares are going to get dividends in the new, bigger company. I don't think they've given us any dates yet, not that I've been aware of. I've been trying to watch for that. Ton of shares in the float, EGADS, 7.6 billion shares. You got to worry about that because when a company gets popular enough, when they start getting a lot of shareholders, when they may have some good business picking up, they may be eager to get to the NASDAQ. And you got to have a price of a minimum of $3, I believe it is, for the NASDAQ, $4 for the New York Stock Exchange. So they'd have to do a reverse split. And at this price, you'd be looking at a 1 in 1,000, a 1 in 1,000 reverse split, which they've got the shares to do. So whenever you see a ton of shares and you see a company starting to grow, you better worry about them uplisting and doing a reverse split. It's
They
just
have to.
defensive business.
They have to. They cannot go up with all those shares. They have to come, and the price will go up, but your average will be butchered. So just let you know that.
Oh, I've got averages that are, I got 70 shares left on a sub penny stock, and they tell me my price is $16. And it's like, what? What?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's probably sitting at 0020.
Yeah, and you're either going to be holding that stock for years, indefinitely, forever, because it'll never get to $16, or you're forced to average down. I mean, you don't want to take the loss because the loss is silly. It's a 99% loss, basically. Yeah. So, but the very first time you make a buy, you're going to, I mean, you know, if you're at 002 and your average is 16, that first buy is going to bring it so far down. I mean, it's going to be worth it, but you're still going to be a mile away from where you want to be.
Exactly. It's a pain, you guys. So,
and I've been hit with a lot of reverse splits this year and last year, a ton.
Well, I'm actually looking for more, John. I mean, especially in the NASDAQ side, that's our newest and latest trend. Reverse splits going to low float and flying. And so we're on top of that and finding those too.
Well, that's something to learn from, because normally reverse splits don't pan out. And we're getting a different sentiment on the market now. And I just got done reading that from somebody that, it was a friend of mine who's in a chat room. And she says, these people are making good money on these low float IPOs and these reverse splits.
Yep.
And I'm scratching my head going, reverse splits? Really?
Exactly. So you wait for after the split. Well, I would wait till after the split, me personally. And then you see if it's going to hold up, and it may go for a run, but it depends on that float. Not every one of them is going to do it. But it seems to be the new trend, which I caught on to pretty quickly. And I think I think it's sympathy. That's my thing. I love stuff like that. So I think it's sympathy from the IPO low floats. Like if you're waiting for the next one and it's not coming or whatever, this will do too, right? So that's what they're doing, you guys. Be on the lookout for that when it happens. Mike was also asking about CZNI. I think that's, didn't you call it Kazuni? What is that one?
Cruzani.
I want to say cuisine,
but I like to roll my tongue.
I'm going to call it cuisine.
Cuisine. That's what you want to think of it as.
Yeah.
Cruzani. Haven't looked at this in a while.
We have discussed it before.
Oh, yes, we have. And that's why I'm scratching my head right now, because I'm drawing a blank. So I need to get a piece of information so everything comes back. I need to see one little piece of the puzzle, not that.
I wish I had that kind of brain and memory. I don't.
Look at that float. We thought the last one was bad.
Is it huge?
17.7 billion in the float.
Ooh.
News. All right.
Nasty.
Now, Cruzani. Isn't Cruzani furthers acquisition strategy and uplisting? Oh, that's 2019. Always pay attention there, folks. I saw that word reverse split, and it's like, uh-oh. That was quite a while ago. So we've got no current news here. Doggone it. I'm just trying to get my head straight.
I mean, it had a nice run earlier, maybe a month or two ago. Let's see. July 19th, it finally hit that 0018. But it's given most of it back since then, and we're barcoding.
Is it in the triples?
Yes, it is.
So
0005.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Goodness gracious. Man, my mind has gone blank here, and they've got no news. They've got no information here I can tap into.
I'm trying to think that the last time you talked about it, I want to say it was something to do with a merger, but I can't remember.
Well, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. I don't like.
Hey, go to Ask Jeeves. He'll know.
Cruzani, news.
Sorry, yeah.
Baumo, reverse merger. There we go. God, man.
See, I knew it was some kind of merger.
I'm glad your brain is still working. Yeah,
A
they
little bit.
did that reverse merger. Let's see if we can get. Oh, this is microcap
And
data. Which
it
is
looks like they sold the news on it. It's just done.
Baumo. Baumo. Let's see here. Endeavor. Baumo has been engaged to fulfill multiple strategic senior IT positions for lots of companies. Blah blah blah. Goodness, my brain is still blank. Give me a little bit of clear information here. I'm trying to remember what Baumo does. RASS, something as a service, recruiting as a service. Now I got it. Ching, ching. Wow, boy, I was struggling there, people. This is the recruiting company, the company that works with getting people jobs. And they're working with AI to do that so that you're not just putting dead information both directions. AI is making connections. Now, I got to tell you, I just tried to get a job here a little while ago, not because I wanted to, but because things got a little tight. Well, I had to go through AI. They put me online and I had to have a discussion, a conversation with
a
AI
robot.
online. And it decided if I was worthy enough to talk to a real person, management in person at the store. And they said, yeah, we like you. You can go in and talk. It's like an AI likes me. How about that? So it's getting a little weird, but this is what they've got. And it is the future. I don't know if I like AI. I think Terminator could be closer to the truth than not. Come on. But obviously, they're just getting going here. The charts aren't showing any real hope there for us.
Yeah, you can see the major run. You can see they sold the news. It started at 0001 and now it's sitting at 0005. You know, and you might as well give it all back at that point. It's not doing anything.
No, this is one of those stocks, and it happens all the time. They run on catalysts. And as soon as the fuel runs out, it falls back to earth.
It's done.
And now someone's got to put fuel back into it to run. And if they come back with any general news about Baumo, it probably isn't going to be something big. They need something new, something we've never seen before. That's the way the OTC market is. They'll come out and say, we got a letter of intent to do business. First time we ever hear of it. Boom, you get these big runs. Then they say, we've signed the letter of intent.
And now, nobody cares.
And now you get a half a bump. And then they say, we closed the deal. And it's like, and it's like,
we're done.
So it's really about keeping up on the cusp. But this is where judgment comes in. You've got to recognize hot news, or you really got to have your watch list in the morning. You grab some of the news, put your little chart over there, watch those stocks, see which one gets volume. That's
watch
your
the volume.
If you see the volume, you can hear the flame on that match. Those are the ones you want to watch.
It's go time.
But again, remember, 10 o'clock is a decisive moment for a lot of stocks on the market. Watch it. If you start seeing any dip, don't get greedy. You can come back tomorrow and do another morning run. If you can grab 3 morning runs a week, even if you lose 2 and just stop out, you're going to do fine. But if you try to run them as far as they can go, more often than not, the same old stuff's going to happen. You're going to get trapped, bottomed out. The floor is going to fall like that. Bam. You don't want to get caught. Take your gains. You know, just because the slot machine only gave you $5 doesn't mean you leave it in there. No, you're going to take that $5. It's not a jackpot, but you're not going to leave it. Why do we leave $5 here all the time, or 50, whatever it is? Get used to taking smaller gains more often than trying to take one big gain.
Oh yeah, that's how you play the markets, you guys. Absolutely. It's a good point, John. But we have Richard that's asking about, he's saying that KRTL is on the move.
Cartel.
Oh, you did talk about that one, didn't you?
Yeah, Cartel. They came on the market.
They are. There you go.
Cartel is working primarily out of South Korea. They've got the Koreans helping them and supporting them in psilocybin and CBD research. They've got a lot going on over there. And I think because they don't have any restrictions, they're going to grow faster. And they've got a lot of money behind them. There's a lot of information that you can look at, but they are a muscle company. They're trying to really force their way into the market with something new and get on top of it fast. I don't know of any other company that's in South Korea. That's an original one right there. Let's see here, 4 hour. She hasn't done a lot. I mean, you can see it's pretty much just straight across rolling, just like the water on the sea. She's not going a whole lot. And finally, we got a wave here. It looks like somebody did throw a rock in the water. So how many days ago was that?
Movement there, yeah.
That was the 14th. So we had a jump here from the 13th on the 14th. I don't know if there was any news at all. She came rolling back down and she's right back up there at that 8 cents. You said we had something going on with cartel, maybe, or was it just the chart?
He just said it was on the move. Yeah, I don't see anything else.
Cartel. Yeah, this is one of the stocks I've got in my permanent watch list. I'm waiting to see volume come in on it because it's just one of those companies that started the ball rolling, and now we're waiting for the next push. Let's see news here. The 7th KRTO to launch proprietary mobile extraction technology. Yeah, this was something I did talk about the other day. I just mentioned it. This is, there's a lot of companies that have biomass that want to make CBD or even THC oils, but there's a lot of money involved in these extraction machines. And there's lots of different types of extractions, all kinds of them right now. They keep coming up with new ones. And this is a mobile one. They can bring the extractor to a company and take all their mass and take care of it in a day or two, and then give them all the oil, and they get paid for it. So they don't have to invest in getting an extraction. Now, it's not the first time it's been tried. Kali, Kali, which is a company I do believe on the expert market now. They were supposed to be the CBD oil company for Pura, P-U-R-A, UCMJ. There's a bunch of these companies all owned by the same guy. He took his vertical company and sliced it up. And instead of having one vertical company, he made 5 separate companies. And it's not working. It hasn't worked. They've promised dividends for years. But anyways, their mobile extraction did not work, went nowhere. So it would be nice to actually see this work. Now, hopefully that's in the US. How many cannabis companies are in South Korea? He's not going to get a lot of business if that's where he's going to launch it. So he's got to get it into the country. So that is new. And if they can promote it right, there's a lot of cannabis companies now. When Kali brought it out, it was back in 2019 to 2020, something like that. Cannabis companies were just getting into CBD oils, everything. Now it's big. There are there's 1,000 cannabis companies on the OTC market, 1,000 of them. That is 1/12 of the entire OTC market. And that's not counting the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. We've got, maybe 30 or 40 up there. But if we ever get cannabis passing here in the US, I expect the OTC market as a whole, I believe that will be a primer to get the entire market up. I do. When you get 1,000 companies all starting to run because laws finally got changed, banking came into it, all those companies get tax deductions now. They can start doing business with other countries, with other states. Holy cow. 1,000 companies surging is going to just push the OTC market up. That's my opinion. I may be wrong, but I hope not. I would love to see it happen for all of us.
Absolutely, John. All right, let me see.
We got good to see you here, buddy. I appreciate you being here. Think twice. I like that name. Think twice.
Yeah, he was asking what happened with the shrimp reverse split, SHMP.
Which reverse split was it?
SHMP. So
shrimp. Oh, yeah. Right. I don't think unless he's telling me it did. I wish it would have. Natural shrimp issue sales marketing. Let me see.
They might have canceled it if they didn't do it.
I announced a while ago that they had announced that they had plans of doing a reverse split of a 1 to 15 up to 1 to 25. And they had put a footnote in there, which was very particularly weird, that if you had a minimum of 100 shares before the split, you would still have 100 shares after the split.
Yeah, and I think me and you discussed that, and I was like, that cannot be right.
Right.
I remember this.
Thinks it's a mistake. Although I had somebody show me a comment. One other company has done this about 5 years ago.
I'd have to see that.
So it's not the first. But the point is here is that if you have 100 shares, and I bought 100 shares, you can't have 101. You've got to have 100. They will be ignored in the reverse split. So if they do a 1 in 25 reverse split, somebody that has 2,500 shares, when he wakes up after the split, he's going to have the same amount of shares as you do, 100. But he lost most of his shares. You didn't lose any. The price goes up 25 times. His value is the same. He lost 25 times his shares, but the price went up 25 times, so it's even. But me, I get 25 times my investment without losing a single share. It's free money. Now, it's got a ceiling, of course, but it's free money. So if I bought it for $25, I get $525 after the split without losing anything.
This is why I don't think it's valid. There was a typo. There's something wrong. Nothing in the market is free, you guys.
But
nothing with any kind of finances is free.
Ooh, we got something here today. Is this about the split?
Let's see. Maybe they did a correction.
August 2019, Natural Shrimp entered into an equity financing agreement. No. Darn it. So they announced that, what was it? 2 months ago I brought that up, or was it even longer? I mean, months are flying now. So I don't know. They said they were going to do it, I think, in August. I think it was. And here we are, halfway through September. It may have even been July, but they didn't do it. So I do not know where the reverse split is. I'm not real eager for it. I mean, it's going to hurt a lot of people. I know a lot of people who have been investing in shrimp for a while. They've been building up their positions. And that's the problem with building a position on the OTC. It can be knocked down, just like your blocks of toys. It can be knocked down. I've got a brother-in-law who's just been building up TBPMF. He's really been pounding on that. We originally got in at 30 cents and it's down at 4 and 5 cents. Been stuck down here, and we expect this thing to go to, I don't know, $200 a share. 200, 300. Honestly, there's a lot of good information about that company and what they can do, but they haven't got there yet. And they should have over a year ago. So they could do a reverse split because they've been down for so long. And I think that's really what all these reverse splits are about. Companies need their stock price to be up. They need that money. It's part of their equity. And if they're down too low, they got to build that equity up in some way. And if we're not going to push the price up, they will with the reverse split. And it's at our expense because we lose all of our potential, all those shares we've been building up on.
So Robert said, never met this fine sir, meaning the stock wizard. And he said, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Robert. Don't know what you look like, but it doesn't matter. It's what's in here that counts.
And then we got, you guys are the best. Thanks for answering from Think Thrice.
You bet, pal.
Thrice. Thank you. So I do have a few things to go over before we leave out of here. And we only have a few more minutes, guys. So I'm
then share... let me bring my screen down.
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick. Oh,
yeah,
make sure my trading's
God.
up. Let's give John a break, you guys. Give John a break.
Yeah, give me a break, dudes. My coffee went cold.
Well, we had a lot more questions than I anticipated. So, but I want to get this in there real quick. Just want to go over a few things. There we go. All right, you guys, can y'all see the chart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so y'all followed us a few times. Y'all been here, and I wanted to touch on it because we had spoke about Guard Force, which is GFAI, which has you can see on the screen how it's ran previously, and this was 8 or so days ago on the 31st of August. It built up to this run. So they had news about mergers. There's more acquisitions and mergers coming, like 6 or 7, maybe 8 or 9 of them, all Great. Chinese companies.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. We had an uptrend. You can see that clearly. And then it started kind of, a little bit of pullback here. Okay, I was willing to be okay with this. I'm not okay with this. You see that? I'm not okay with that. So we're starting to break down. I don't like it. But just in case anybody was still in this one or playing this one or following it or needed information, I wanted to go over it. It's GFAI. So Golf Foxtrot Alpha India. Okay. All right. So here's my problem. I'm going to get a bit closer. This is the 5-day. You see it coming down. We have our fib retracement here, and it's almost touched it. So not a bad spot. But here's my downtrend line right here. This is why I'm bringing it up. Because after this severe drop this morning. Okay,
Wow.
we still had this downtrend here, but we broke out up over it right here.
Mhm.
So this is what I'll tell you, because this news does not come out, like it doesn't finish. It has a possibility to build up to the end of the month. So September 30th, I believe. So if it'll hold this area, which was a level of resistance from before, if it'll hold like the 28-cent area, may give it 27 cents. But that's it. If it's not going to do that, I don't like it. You know, it's got to hold out from where it broke out above here. So 27.62. It may revisit these areas, 27.51, 27.62.
Right.
But anything more than that, done. So if you're in this one, or if you bought more, that's kind of where you're looking to say, okay, this is dead. And you'll have to just watch it, because it may just cool off and then start building back up. And it'll be sneaky about it. Keep an eye. It'll be sneaky. It'll go really slowly.
A lot of
start
these
seeing it
stocks
build
are
up.
sneaky.
But if it'll hold up over this line, if it can hold this, 27.5 to 28 area, okay, we might build up into the later part of the month. Now, this could be just a direct reflection from the market. This stock is still on NASDAQ. So it could be just from what's happened with SPY and everything else after our CPI data and all that stuff. We're kind of rocky right now. So it could just be that. This may be an opportunity. I just wanted to bring it up and cover it for y'all real quick, just in case. All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up was AREB, AREB.
Okay.
AREB. So Alpha Romeo Echo
Like a rebel.
Bravo. Yeah, Rebel. So here we go. This is American Rebel Holdings.
Ooh.
This one I'm bringing up. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. There we go. So I'm bringing this one up because it hit for Insider Financial today. Now, I have noticed when things come out for Insider Financial, they usually do sell off a little bit. Just like it did today, right at open. Bam.
You're talking about the other people that talk about stocks like we look at Insider Financial? Right.
Yeah. So I know it came out first thing this morning, something they're watching. It has more catalysts that's coming. I don't know exactly what those are. So I had limited information, but I decided to watch it, and I did. So here's the thing with AREB. Right here. We were in this trend channel, which was an uptrend, maybe slow, but uptrend. And then it gave it up today. Like I said, the market was rocky today.
Yeah.
And this bottom line right here that I've drawn across here, this is where this is the absolute, if it gave that up, we're done. And so that's what we're looking like right now. So what you can do is watch it just to see if it starts trying to reclaim these levels, trying to get back in that uptrend. You might be able to find a trade off that. I'm not saying it's safe. I'm just saying there's more chatter out there. So if you start seeing some volume come into AREB, then you might can find a play there, or a scalp, or a day trade, something like that. Or you may just want to look up what's going on with it. Why did Insider Financial put it out? Because there's something going on with it. I'm not familiar just yet. I just got it this morning. But I just wanted to put it on your radar.
Am I noticing a PPO and an ADX at the bottom of your screen?
Yes, you are.
I did. I saw the mirror image down there. I said, wait a minute. I recognize those tools.
Yeah. I've been trying them out, John, just to see how I like them.
Sure, yeah.
I'm still giving it a couple more weeks. But so far, I do like using them. So we're going to, I'm going to get my official analysis.
Yeah, you've got them in the right place and everything. You paid attention.
Thank you. And then I'm going to, before we leave today, you guys, hopefully I can get you a couple of things out there that I'm watching. Let's go to the WLDS, the one that IPO'd not that long ago, just a few days ago. We're on the 5-day, the 5 minutes. So right here when it IPO'd, it hit 585, and that was pretty much it. And then down she went. Okay, so I think the IPO price was probably around $4. So there was some gains there. But here's the thing. Right here, we have an uptrend. And I'm watching that. And you see how it, let me extend this real quick. So sorry. So you see how it's staying in that channel.
Yeah.
This right here, I was drawing this because we were on downtrend today with the market. And I was waiting. First of all, I want to see it. This is confirmation right here. It's holding this channel. And it went past where this downtrend is that I'm drawing. So that's more bullish, right?
Yeah, nice.
Little rocky there this morning. But this is what I did. And I did it, I think it was yesterday. So right now they're sitting at 31 cents. But these are the warrants, WLDSW.
Right.
And this is what I'm playing. And what I did was I waited for it to break out right here. When it dipped, I called it because it came back and tested this right here. You see right there? It hit 25 and came back and retested it right here.
Yep.
This is where I made a call out on our Discord. And it's in the free section, you guys. But I made a call out for people to get into the warrants at 25 to 26 cents. I kind of give you a window that I'm comfortable with. So 25, you grab it there. You grab it 25.5 or 26, whatever. So I gave you a window. And my first target was, and I'm going by memory here because I'm not looking at it. Oops. I'm so sorry, you guys. My chart went away. There we go. So my first target was 32 cents. And you see we hit that this morning. Now I was doing this as a swing. I didn't expect to get from here to 32 that quickly.
In one day.
Yeah, my second target, I'm trying to get a little bit more room. I gave it 42 cents. So right here, though, we dipped back down again. We hit right at 26. This was a place that I decided to buy more. So this right here, 25, 26 again. And then we started uptrending again. What I'm trying to identify to you, and you have to keep up with the wild chart, WLDS, as long as it's doing okay and looks healthy, you're going to have some pullbacks, but staying in this little uptrend here. If you can grab those warrants like 25 or 26 cents, usually the warrants are going to hold a little bit better than the stock. So even when it came down to 227, this is where we were hitting 25 cents. And even here, we hit 26 this morning. But those warrants are holding pretty well. So I already took a little bit here. I added more when it came back down. But keep an eye on this stock. This is how you play warrants, okay? If it is a company, because it's wearable devices, they are going to be creating some stuff for Apple. I think it comes down to the watch bands is what they'll be creating. So they do have something going on there. And so for the price of the warrants, I feel pretty comfortable building a swing there, or maybe doing a rinse and repeat until it starts catching on.
Yeah, a billion bands will make you some money.
Exactly. So let's see what's got, what's to come. But here's the thing. If it starts giving it up too much and we start breaking down, it depends on how the warrants react. If the warrants want to hold between 18 and 20 cents, I'll still feel comfortable with adding. But maybe even 15 cents, but I wouldn't give it no more than that because most of the time warrants don't go to zero like the OTC does. So just wanted to bring it up, something to keep an eye on. And another thing I called out in the Discord was Skittles.
Skittles.
SKLZ. Yep. So Sierra Kilo Lima Zulu. All right. So I did this a couple of days ago as well. Let me see what I'm going to take. No, I don't want to go that close. Hold on. Not yet. All right. No, I want to go further than that. Let's go back to the 10-day real quick. All right. So you can see right here, we started with an uptrend, a little bit of a breakout, couldn't hold it. But when the market started doing a little bad on those CPI numbers, this is what happened to Skills. But I called it 118 is the low. I told everybody to buy in. I think it was at 125. It may have been 128 right here on this rise right here. And my target was $1.42 and we hit $1.41. So hopefully, with raised stop losses, people got some of the profits there.
Yeah.
And what I did though, when it came back down to this 121 and 119 area, I added more. And here we are again in another uptrend. What I'm hoping is that it'll reclaim this channel. It may not in this rocky market, okay? So what I wanted to tell y'all, this is still a valid play. We're only sitting at $1.22, $1.24. If it'll dip down around $1.19 to $1.22, I like it for an entry. And this is a call out for you guys because I love you. So I like it for an entry. I may even go to $1.23, maybe, depending on how it's doing. This is the thing. I don't want to see it under $1.18. And this is an uptrend hitting the bottoms right here. So this is as much room as I'm going to give it. My stop on this is $1.14. The low on this is $1.15 from a month few months back. Now, Skills is a really decent company. It is a small cap, but their financials are fantastic, you guys. And this is the thing. This one has been beat down so bad. We're going to go back a year, all the way from 13. It's been beat down so bad that even if the market gets rocky, which we kind of saw that these past couple of days, it didn't give up that much, right? And we could have rinsed and repeated it right here from $1.41 back in at $1.19. I got in at $1.21, to be honest, but here we go. But I sold some here, bought some more here, took my average down to about $1.24, and that's where we're hanging right now. If it'll do it again tomorrow, but hold, especially over that $1.15 area, it has to hold over that, you guys. If it doesn't and you're not in already, don't touch it. Don't touch it. If you're already in, if I'm going to give my stop loss to $1.14, which would be a new low, okay? So that at that point, we won't know how much lower it could go. But these small caps, you guys, have been beat down so bad that I don't think it has as much to give up as the your higher end stocks. You know, the ones that we play that are, you know, the big caps that are actually getting kind of beat up right now, right? So I just wanted to pass that along. If you're interested, if not, well, just thanks for listening to me anyway.
We did talk about LICN a little bit, the IPO.
Oh, yeah.
There's no market orders available, as far as I know, on these IPOs. You've got to put in a limit order. You've got to pick a price. And I guess the question here is, he's never bought an IPO before. If it is in for above the list price, will it buy before the price rockets?
Possibly. Possibly.
Every time I try to get into an IPO, it's always way above the asking price. By the time the bell goes off, it doesn't come in and start to rise. No, it's already up there. It's already higher than I thought it was going to be. And it's like, darn it. But you got to pick a price. Last one I got into was $6 a share. I put in $14 a share. Come on, I'm 130% above it. No, it went to $41. So
it opened at 41.
Yeah, and I wasn't thinking I'm going to put in $50 a share for
no, I would not have done that anyway. I would not. You put in a reasonable price, treat it as a lotto. If you get assigned shares when it opens, great. If you don't, wait for the pullback and play it with the rest of us.
Yeah. And hopefully it's a serious pullback. I mean, HKD had a pullback, but it never came back down to where it started. Oh, boy.
And it took days for HKD to reach that 2,500.
It did.
And we haven't seen another one like that. Yeah, we've had others that's had really good runs. I think 400% and 500%. Some really good ones, but not like that. Yeah. AXD, I think, was another one.
MEGL got up to 200 or something, like 250, something like that, first day, and it was under $10. So
there's a few of them. So you treat it as a lotto. I don't know if it's IPOing tomorrow that you could even put in an order right now. I think you have to be in the day before, but I can't remember for sure. But hey, give it a shot. I think so, because they got to be ready for the next morning to release it. So I'm not sure. I see what you're saying.
You're trying to get ahead of all the other buyers.
Yeah. So like you don't know if you've been assigned until it opens. But when they're a week or two out, you can put in orders in. But it doesn't mean every IPO, if it's listed on Webull, you can put in orders. But it doesn't mean every IPO is going to pop. It doesn't mean every one of them is going to be great. Right now, we're seeing a trend with China. We're seeing a trend with low floats, and especially Hong Kong or anything associated to those like HKD, AMTD. If they're associated or related in any way, then usually it does okay. But eventually the trend is caught onto, and that's usually when it changes, you guys. Retail will somewhere along the line hold the bag for this.
Well, folks, we sure appreciate you hanging with us here. I hope we covered a few of the stocks.
KB says that LICN's pushed back to Monday. Thank you for that information. Last I heard it was tomorrow, but Monday it is.
That's what we like about the community. Lots of ears, lots of eyes. We can all be out there pulling stuff in together. And that's what we want to do here. Share the information, share the joy, share the gains. And hopefully we're actually teaching a little bit. Lily is really good at her charting. She is one of our shot callers over at Penny Boys. Come on over there, folks. We put up a link at the end of that news that you see scrolling. There's a link down below in the description. Drop on in. It's absolutely free. We have a paid for area for more serious traders. There's lots of education over here.
But our section's free.
Yeah, the OTC, we are all free. We are all free. Not enough respect yet. So let's pick up the market. But seriously, come on over. There's not a lot of us there because we moved from Titan Trading over to Penny Boys, and everybody loves the big markets. But the OTC has got its own game going, and there's a lot of players, and we'd love to have you come in and join us.
That's why I play the OTC and small caps. So I try to give a little bit of variety where you could possibly pick up a swing or a day trade. And I don't call every day, but I'm always watching the market.
Not to mention,
John are always there.
Those small caps are free to trade. You're not paying $14 to get in and out, which makes every trade a bummer because I got to make $14 before I even think of getting out. And why would I get out at even after making $14?
I tell y'all what, before we go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I just want to tell everybody before we go, since we're talking about it, and our site's free and we're amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get you a link so that way I'll just put it in the comments, you guys. If you want to be in the Discord and see us on our free section and we do free live streams, then you can follow this link right here and you can come and visit with us. You have to accept the OTC role. So when you see that, you have to accept it in the channels. And when you accept that, where you got to accept our disclaimer first. But once you accept the role, you'll see everything that me and John post. You'll be able to talk to us. And when we tag OTC, you will see it. Okay? Come see us.
Thank you, folks. We will see you next week. Same place, same time, same beard. Love you.
Bye.